cars, so he'll be thrilled to see Jay racing up in the front with Gabriel and Rahul Hyman. But we are on the cusp of the first IRL night race here on the streets of Chennai. Can't wait to go racing under the lights. We've already seen terrific entertainment through the weekend, and the fans here thronging the streets of Chennai. Give us a wave. There you go. Why not? Packed house here across the circuit. Close to 10,000 people coming in to witness this spectacle. And a spectacle it promises to be. These cars look incredible. They sound glorious. And once those engines get going, enjoy the sight and sound of racing on the streets of Chennai. On the grid, let's take you back downstairs. Let's see who we've got.
Okay, we are here at the starting race for IRL Primary race, and leading the pack of boys behind. We've got Gabriela. Gabriela, how do you feel about racing here, the very first IRL race?
Yes, we're looking forward, of course. Last weekend was really good. End up on the podium, so yeah, now it's an opportunity to be even higher. So yeah, of course, try to do my maximum, and yeah, hoping for some good result, of course.
Okay, best of luck. And while we are here, another cool thing about the podium is that we've got a 1-2 for Goa and John Abraham Racing, and over here we've got Rahul Hyman. Rahul, we've seen you in season 1 before, we've seen you on this grid before, and you create havoc out there. What's the plan for this race?
Yeah, no, I mean, look, we're starting P2. Got my teammate ahead. I think we're both looking to be sensible, but of course we've got a huge direction behind, you know, in John and you know, all the other guys. They're very quick. So we take nothing for granted, and we just want to have a clean race and move forward.
We just want the 1-2 on the podium more important than anything else, right?
You want that, yeah?
Yeah, I definitely want that.
Well, you're one of us.
Mr. Cool as always, Rahul, I'm in that's on P2, but while we're here, we're also going to meet P3, which is John Lancaster from Chennai Turbo Riders. Hey John, this is a little behind compared to where we usually find you, but hey, P3, very good. What's the plan now? We've got a 1-2 go up blocking ahead.
As usual, be aggressive at the start, see what's possible, and yeah, try and bring home the win like we did last week.
Any tips for all the guys who are behind you? Are they going to be busy trying to keep you away? Or are you just going to be far away?
The plan is eyes forward, don't worry about what happens behind, and see if we can get past these guys.
Okay, best of luck, John. That's it from the grid.
We truly are going night racing in Chennai. This is such a spectacular sight. The island grounds lit up for the Chennai Formula Racing Circuit. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Indian Racing League, India's first and only franchise-based motorsport series. And here, the best of the International Racing Championships come together to race with the best of India.
Hey, we've got a really good grid, and what a sight that is. Marina Beach in the background, the Chetbox Stadium, the island grounds. You've got so many iconic monuments along the way as well. Anna Saleh leading to Marina Beach normally, but it now leads into the island grounds and the lit up circuit that's coming alive for racing in Chennai. So stay where you are, listen to the noise, follow the noise, and get here soon, because this is Chennai going racing, and what a sight that is. It's a beautiful city, and it's even more beautiful to see these cars on the streets, under the lights, all set to go racing.
500 specialized lights are required for this event. Tons of concrete blocks brought in for the barriers. Fences loaded in trucks. Hundreds of trucks coming into the city just to make sure that the right barrier, crash protection, the seats are there. Thousands of marshals making it possible. The government doing their part to make it happen. The racing festivals organizers, the promoters, everyone doing their part to make sure that Chennai can go night racing in the streets. This is a historical moment. We keep on going on about how Chennai is now joining in a list of cities, but to go night racing with these IRL cars, it's going to be a spectacle that everyone's going to relish. The Wolf GBOA Thunders, 250 brake horsepower in a car that only weighs 450 kilograms. For context, that's 200 kilos lighter than a Maruti 800 with triple the power. That is going to be a spectacular challenge for these drivers to navigate.
Well, it's a challenge that we love watching. The formation lap will go with that green flag. Remember, formation lap, the sighting lap for all of these drivers to get a fresh start once they pull onto the grid at the end of this. But remember, the start of this race is a bit different to a normal standing start. So when you take a look at what you've got, you'll have a rolling start from these drivers in the Indian Racing League. Something they've grown more and more familiar with as far as this championship is concerned. And out in front, you see them weaving left to right. That's just to keep the tires warm. Ensure you've got enough grip once you get to that start line. A little less significant when it comes to a rolling start, but still keeping the heat in those tires. Very, very important through the opening sequence of corners to try and pull away from the cars behind you. And Gabriela Yilkova and Rahul Hyman would want to do just that.
And look at the front of your wheel. Look at the driver at the top. Normally racing is thought to be a man's sport. They say it's a man's sport. Only a true man can be a racing driver. Now, rubbish. Gabriela Yilkova. She's the first female pole sitter in the history of the IRL. And do you know by how much she took pole? She took pole position by over 9/10 of a second. In cricketing terms, it's like winning a test match by innings and more. But that's only half the job done. She's only put a good total in the first innings. This is the second inning. This is where you get to the, you set aside all the talking and get to the action, because the race is about to go on.
Get these cars coming around to Napier Bridge. Setting the tone early is going to be what Rahul Hyman and Gabriela Yilkova want to do for the Goa Aces JA Racing. You've got John Lancaster, who will be breathing down their neck in the yellow Chennai Turbo Riders. Remember, it is that rolling start we spoke of. Wait for them to come around to that start-finish straight.
The cars will line side by side in a 2x2 manner as they come over the Napier Bridge. This is a moment that gives me and so many people in Chennai goosebumps, because this is a historical monument where we are going to go racing. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to go racing. The lights are out. We are going straight racing in Chennai. Rahul Hyman gets the jump on Gabby Yilkova. The Goa Aces JA Racing driver is in first. Behind them, we saw cars going 3 wide. At turn 1, there's contact between the two Goa Aces cars, and then the structure of Bengal Tigers cars have damage on their front.
I have to say, that's a really poor start from John Lancaster, who's dropped back as well behind the structure of Bengal Tigers car. Great start from Rahul Hyman, who jumped his teammate Gabriela Yilkova for the lead. And it's Goa Aces still 1 and 2, but John Lancaster comes back to try and take third around the outside, and he makes the move stick. What a move from John Lancaster.
Bravery, that's the word we can say about John Lancaster. Nobody dares go around the outside of a street circuit where there's barely any margin. You know who does? John Lancaster does. He's the man who won a race for the Chennai Turbo Riders last weekend. Can he bring it home and get a second home win for the Chennai team? He's now closing after Gabby Yilkova, but here comes Jung on the outside.
Alistair Jung in 4th place. He won't be happy about losing third to John Lancaster. It was a terrific start for both of the Sachirar Bengal Tigers cars. Alistair Jung and Fabian Bolven. Now they find themselves back behind John Lancaster, who's breathing down the back of Gabriela Yilkova in that number 11 Goa Aces JA Racing car.
John Lancaster is normally the best starter in the entire grid. This time last year, we saw him go from P12 to P7 within a couple of corners. He's won a race, I mean, he's gone from 3rd to 1st as well so many times. And here we are seeing his starting prowess. As we come to turn 19, the Chennai Turbo Riders driver in that beautiful sparkling yellow car is closer than he's ever been to Gabriela Yilkova. He will look to the inside line potentially. Looking at the slipstream, Yilkova has blocked up the lines, and that is status quo.
Gabriela Yilkova has just parked her car in the middle of that track, and that's a very smart bit of driving. It goes with all the experience that she has as well. But you can see Gabriela Yilkova turning left, turning right to look into both her mirrors to keep an eye on where John Lancaster is. And that's why this battle is not getting done anytime soon.
Yilkova holding on from John Lancaster. These are two drivers who've done a lot in the world of European motorsport. But Lancaster says the wait is over. On the outside he goes. Gabriela Yilkova blocks up the line, and that's a good piece of defending from the Czech driver, who's also the development driver for the Porsche Formula E team. But here comes Alistair Young. The two-way fight is a three-way fight. Here comes Lancaster on the outside line. There will be a chance to go around, and he does go around. The Chennai Turbo Riders have seen their car move up to P2, and courtesy of Lancaster.
She's gone wide there. She's allowed a brilliant run out of that corner for Alistair Young, and suddenly now she's under pressure. Gabi Yilkova, who was sitting second, might find herself in fourth at the end of this sequence of corners. She just gave him a good run at the exit, but she's given herself enough to do in the opening sequence of laps here. John Lancaster, meanwhile, is charging for the Chennai Turbo Riders and chasing down Rahul Hyman.
He feels so helpless sometimes when someone like John Lancaster decides to make a move. He will go with such commitment and such bravery around the outside of turn 10. Wow, that we've always touted as a place that's so hard to make a move. Here's why we had a yellow flag. That is one of the speed demons, Delhi cars, going in the barrier.
Akash Gowda, I think.
Yeah.
Akash Gowda has gone straight into the barriers, and a very familiar part of the circuit to many. That barrier will have a few names on it by the end of this weekend. But Alistair Young now trying to stay with Gabriela Yilkova and try and push her into making an error and committing an error to force himself through, and he's getting closer and closer. More of an opportunity for young Alistair Young.
The pressure is on Gabriela Yilkova, but you know what? It feels like a great nature. I'd like to call our boys back to one week of the World at the Madras International Circuit. Gabriela Yilkova was third. She had four of the fastest driving candidates behind her, and she held on for 25 minutes without making a single mistake. That's what did he right here today? Who are the drivers behind her? Alistair Young, Kai Kumar, and Fabian Gulben. Fabian Gulben might be more seeing Gabi Yilkova. This time last week she was also part of that race, and she might be going, long leg to spend behind Gabi now.
The trouble with Gabriela Yilkova is that now that train is getting longer. And as that train gets longer, it piles on a bit more pressure in the mirrors. And as the mirrors, as three cars getting bigger, there's more trouble. Having said that though, Alistair Young making a bit of an error going wide and just allowing Kai Kumaran and Fabian Golven to close up. And that just gives Gabriela Yilkova a little bit of breathing room, a little bit of a gap that's been created. And now a move down the inside goes Fabian Golven on Kai Kumaran.
The lady from Liechtenstein getting the move done on Kai Kumaran. She gets P5 for herself. And what we have now is a double team opportunity. The Strachey or Bengal Tigers, the championship leaders in the team's championship, now find both their cars together in P4 and P5. Normally, you can do some teamwork. One car defending from the car behind, one car attacking the other one. This is where the two of them can use their togetherness to attack Gabi Yilkova. But attacking Gabi Yilkova is like trying to get Rahul Dravid board in a test match. You just don't do that.
Well, that's also the beauty of the IRL, that you've got teams working together. And it's really nice to see. It's one of the reasons that drivers and the camaraderie comes to the fore as well. Now Gabriela Yilkova yet again under pressure. And this time she's got two golden cars with a golden opportunity to get past. Oh! Was there a bit of contact almost from Alistair Young and Gabriela Yilkova? Now, two cars in her sights, two cars climbing into the back of Gabriela Yilkova's car, and it's two familiar foes on track.
These are three of the original Indian Racing League drivers. They've fought against each other from day one of this championship. They've been racing each other for the last 3 years in the same cars, in the same teams. They know each other at the back of the hand.
Red flag, red flag. Had a safety car opportunity in the past, but as we know, the red flag, I think there's a dog on track, unfortunately, as we just saw. But a replay at the start, therefore. We just saw a brilliant start, outstanding start really from the two cars, the Sachirat Bengal Tigers on either side, and that's where the opportunity was created.
We went three wide at turn one. Can you believe it? At the street circuit, you barely get to see that stuff happening. But this is the beauty of the Chennai Formula Racing Circuit. Now then, the cars are peeling into the pit lane. There has been a red flag for us to clear off any debris that must be on the track. And this puts a bit of a hard reset. It gives time for all the drivers to think, particularly to someone like Gabriela Yilkova. Would you say she'll be satisfied with her race so far today?
She'll be satisfied with the red flag. At the moment, I think Gabriela Yilkova, she'll be really upset that she didn't get drawn off the line. And when you've got P1 in a rolling start, you've got no reason to lose it. And unfortunately there, we just saw the grip in the tyres of Rahul Hyman much better off the line. We saw John Lancaster power his way through as well. So Gabriela Yilkova will be pretty upset with where she's found herself. But it could have gotten worse. She could have found herself behind the likes of Alistair Young, behind Fabian Bolven. So now it's an opportunity for Gabriela Yilkova to pause and try and reset her race as well.
And these rolling starts can catch anyone out. Normally it's the leader who decides when the pack goes racing. But sometimes the cars just might not be in the right rev range when you're leading, and so the others can get the better of you. But the context now is very simple. The red flag simply means the race is suspended. All the cars have now found their way back into the pit lane, where they will be halting for a bit. When they go out, they will follow the safety cars again and go back for a similar rolling start. And the race clock has been halted.
Yeah, that's our leader, Rahul Hyman, who should be very proud of what he's done so far. The perfect getaway for Rahul Hyman, jumped his teammate at the line, and now has John Lancaster behind him to worry about. But he should be really, really happy with where his race is at the moment. You've got Gabriela Yilkova in third. She's now got an opportunity to restart her race in positive fashion. But behind them, the Sachirat Bengal Tigers cars of Alistair Young and Fabian Bolven, they'll be licking their lips.
It's one of the most decorated water boys I've ever seen. Sonik Shah, last year's Iron champion, serving water to his teammate Rahul Hyman. He won the championship with Rahul last year. And you guys might be wondering, Rahul sounds like a very Indian name. It partially almost is. Rahul Hyman is actually from South Africa, living in England, with his family descending from somewhere in India. Familiar case, he's almost half Indian, not just in his name and his lineage, but also in his behavior. He's one of the biggest Shah Rukh Khan fans out here. He loves about anything about Bollywood, and now he gets to race in India at a street circuit like Chennai. For someone like Rahul and all the others as well, this is such a golden opportunity.
You know, for someone from Chennai, myself, Somal, when you see this site, it gives you goosebumps, because you think of so many night races around the world. Singapore lights itself up as well. Now you think of Chennai lighting itself up with more lights still to come on the inside of the circuit. Why not? But it is such a beautiful sight, and what an opportunity for the drivers to really feel what drivers around the world in other categories, in Formula 1, feel like as well. To have the circuit light up inside the middle of Chennai city is truly breathtaking.
I don't think we've ever seen this city in this way, ever. Or any Indian city for that matter. This is under the starry nights with these lights. And by the way, these lights are a piece of art as well, I was telling you.
Yeah, it's also a good opportunity to understand the track layout. If you were wondering where the race actually goes, you'll see it front and center on your screens at the moment. You'll understand the layout of the circuit. Pretty simple to understand. Not so simple to navigate through when it comes to the machinery that these guys are all in. Formula 4, IRL, Formula LGB. It's a festive weekend of motorsport here in Chennai. And you think of the legacy of Chennai and Tamil Nadu when it comes to sport and motorsport. Both the Formula 1 drivers from our country, Naren Karthikeyan and Karun Chandra, coming from Tamil Nadu. You've got India's automobile hub, South Asia's Detroit as we call it, being Chennai. We pioneered sport across the land from Chennai as well. And this is another feather in the cap of Chennai and Tamil Nadu when it comes to sport and the way that it's all come together. So a lot of credit to the government of Tamil Nadu, a lot of credit to the people that have put this together, the promoters, because this takes a Herculean effort to just bring it all alive and showcase it in the way that you guys have it on your screens at the moment.
Let me put you on the spot. You mentioned your brother Karuchandra. We just pass it off as Karuchandra. You need to tell us more about that journey. Is he watching? Has he told you anything about the way he feels about this event?
Absolutely. I mean, he's in Monza at the moment, Formula 1, but he's of course so proud of what's going on. Because you can't not be. If you're anyone that's been involved in Indian motorsport through the decades, you have to be proud to see this moment come alive. And I think it's a moment that all of us should celebrate. And for everyone that's been involved in Indian motorsport for the ages, from the Sholavaram days, to Sri Perumbudur, to now the street circuit, it's a very goosebump-inducing moment as well. So it's so nice for everyone in the community to come together and celebrate this moment as well.